Good morning, business marketing technology pathway students, multimedia freshmen. It's me, Mr. Cheney, with another brilliant tutorial. Today we are going to do another project that is photography based in Pixlr X editor. And what we're doing today is what's called a Colorsplash. And basically what we're doing is taking an existing photograph, a color photograph, and we're going to use layers in Pixlr to actually, the second layer will be a kind of a black and white feature, and then you actually reveal some of the color that's underneath that layer. So we're going to do that to 5 images. So you're going to find 5 original images, and then you're going to edit those 5 images as an after, so before and an after. So you're going to have a total of 10 pictures, and just like the other photograph assignments that we did, you're going to create a folder so that you have all of those in one folder, upload it to either Google Drive or to OneDrive, and turn in the link to the entire folder. So here's how the project works. My suggestion is that you go find your pictures and put them into a folder first. So I'm going to go to my desktop and I'm going to create a folder, and I'm going to call it Colorsplash. So I'm going to do new folder and I'll call it Colorsplash, like so. And now I'll go back and start finding the pictures that I want to use. And I think I'm going to go with a sports theme. So I'm going to go to images and I'm going to look up some of my favorite sports guys. So I kind of like Steph Curry. So I'm going to find a cool picture of Steph Curry in a game here. Let's see, what's a good one? Let's have him doing a 3-point shot. That'll be good. And I'm going to use the tools to actually have a large picture so that I have a clear picture too. So I think that that's kind of a cool picture. Doesn't have the ball, but actually no. I'm going to do this picture right here. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to save link or save image as, and I'm going to save it to that folder that I put called Colorsplash. And let's call it Steph before. Okay, and then let's go find another picture. So let's go to football. I'm a Colts fan, so I think I'm gonna the reason I'm a Colts fan is because of Peyton Manning. So let's get a picture of Peyton Manning as a Colt before he was a Bronco. And we'll do something with him. So let's see. Yeah, that's a good one right there. So I'm going to save image as. I'm going to call it Peyton before. And I'll save that to my Colorsplash folder again. Ooh, I didn't save that other picture to the right folder. Let's fix that. So if I open up my Explorer, my Steph before is not where it's supposed to be, so I'm going to put that where it's supposed to be. So there's my Colorsplash folder there, so I'm just going to drag it into that folder. So now if I open this folder, I've got 2 pictures. Good, okay. So now let's go look at, let's go with soccer. I'm an Arsenal fan when it comes to soccer. And so let's find a good picture here. I like this one. It's a good looking pic right there. So I'm going to save image as. Let's call it Arsenal before. Now I gotta find 2 more pictures. So let's see, what's another good sport? Oh, I'm a big tennis guy, so I like Rafa Nadal. And so, what's a good picture of Rafa? I like this picture right here. Lefty, just like me. So I'm gonna save that image. I'm gonna call it Rafa before. And let's find one more picture. Let's go with what's another sports related picture that I could do? Basketball, baseballs, nah. Let's go with golf. So who's a big golf guy right now? I've always liked Phil Mickelson. So let's find a good picture of Phil. Oh, that's good. He's lefty too. I'm going to save that image. And, oh, see how that says WebP file? That's a bad image, so we don't want that. So let's find a different one. That's kind of cool. If I can get that. Save image as JPEG. Good. So let's call that Phil before. Okay, so now if I go into my folder, hopefully I've got 5 before pictures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I can go in and do my after images. Okay, now that I've got my 5 before images, I got 5 different sports themes. You do not have to do a sports theme. You can have your own theme, or they can be random pictures that you find on the internet. I've got 5. I've put them in a folder on my desktop called Colorsplash. So I'm going to go to the editor and I'm going to ignore ads, and then I'm going to open one of my images. So I've got my Colorsplash poster here. I'm going to start with the Steph picture. And so now what we do is we've got to see our layers. Okay, rewind. So on these next assignments, we don't need just the photography restore section of Pixlr. Pixlr has 2 products. They have their advanced Pixlr editor, which we're now going to use, and then what we were using before was just like the Pixlr X, which is kind of just retouching and cropping and resizing and that sort of thing. So when we go to just pixlr.com right here, that's where you're going to see the 2 different products. And so what we want is the editor, and so now if I open up my image there, it's going to look a lot different as far as the tools are concerned. So let's open that up, and so now I can see like my layers over here, and the tools, there's a lot more tools. It's more Photoshop like. So what I want to do, what I'm doing now is resizing my picture. If you have a scroll wheel on your mouse, you can do it that way, or I believe there's a way to do it with like Control plus and minus, so you could do that. And the way to do Colorsplash, basically what we're doing is we're adding a layer, and then the layer that's on top of the original layer is going to be desaturated, which means that it's black and white, and then we're going to use the eraser tool to like reveal some color. So I think what I'm going to do is make this black and white, and then I'm going to reveal the orange of the ball. So I will right click on this layer, and actually, do I have to unlock it first? Okay. Okay, when I right click on this layer, I have my the things that I could do with this layer over here, and so here are some of our options, and what I want to do is actually duplicate that layer. So that's what I'm going to do. And so now I have my original layer, and then I have my second layer on top. If I go now to adjustment and desaturate, and make sure that you're on this layer, not the original layer, I'm going to go to desaturate. Why is it doing that? Maybe it's because my picture's in the way. Yep. So I'm going to desaturate, and so now I've got black and white. I've got the original. You can't see the original because the second layer is on top of that. If I were to uncheck this, you would see the original layer only. So I'm going to check that. And then what I'm going to do is use my eraser tool, which is, where is the eraser tool? Wand tool. Here's the eraser tool. So here's the eraser tool, and I just want the orange ball right there. So I can change my brush size, smaller or larger. So if I were to change the size of my eraser like that, then you could see that's way too big. So to do just the ball, let's maybe go down. Yeah, that's too big as well, so I want to go with maybe that'll work. So I'm just going to reveal the color of the ball, and then to really fine-tune this, what I want to do is like actually zoom in and maybe use a smaller brush size to get in there, so I can kind of get in there like this and do my very best not to put color on the surrounding area, and I'm going to try to avoid his fingers as much as I can to make it look good. So what I can do to do that is change my brush size even smaller. Oop, maybe not that small. Let's go maybe like that. Okay, that's better. And then I can again use my scroll wheel or Control Plus to zoom in, and then I'm going to use a smaller brush like this, which is erasing the top layer to reveal the color of what I want to reveal, which in this case is the orange basketball. So I'm going in there, I'm erasing the top layer just around the ball. I'm trying to avoid his fingers because I don't want to see his fingers, I just want to see the ball. And so now that's not too bad. Okay, so now if I scroll back out, that's not too bad, that looks good, looks pretty good. So the entire picture is black and white now, with the exception of the orange basketballs. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to save this, and I'm going to save it as a JPEG, and instead of Steph Before, I'm going to call it Steph After. High image, that's what I want. Okay, good. So I'm going to download that, and then that's in my downloads folder now. So to get it into the correct folder, what I can do is show it in my Explorer. So there's my Colorsplash folder right there. So now I have 5 befores and I have 1 after right there. So you'll continue doing that for all of your photos. I'm going to do one more and then show you the upload process for getting it to Google Drive or OneDrive. So let's open up another image. So I'm going to go to New Image, and I'm going to open it, and I'm going to do, let's do the Peyton one, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to duplicate the layer, and then I'm going to adjust, and I'm going to do desaturate, and then I'm going to use my eraser tool again. Okay, I'm going to change this to a little bigger size. Oh, that's too big. Let's go like maybe that much. Okay, that'll get me a lot of it. So I'm just going to do the football. And maybe you want to do, like, if you do a sports theme, maybe you want to do like a jersey or something instead of the playing equipment, and that's fine. You get to pick what you want to reveal the color on. So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to fine tune this so I get just the edges of the football. Like so. I want to avoid the surrounding background as much as possible. Like I touched a little bit of the outside. I can see the blue, but I'm not going to go back and fix it because I just want to show you the process here. Oh, I got a little bit of his finger. So it really depends on how much of a perfectionist you are as far as how good you want this to look. So that's not too bad. If I zoom it all the way back out, yeah, I see some of his fingers, so that's not the best. So anyway, I've got that. So again, I can go to Save, and instead of Peyton Before, I'm going to call it Peyton After, and we'll download that, and we'll put it into the correct folder. So here's my downloads. Peyton After's right there. I'm going to put it into Colorsplash. Okay, and so now in Colorsplash I've got my befores and I've got my 2 afters, and here's how you turn it, or actually get a folder and then turn it in. So if I were to open the student version of Google Classroom, let's do that. so I can show you how this works. And what I can do is go to my drive, and then I'm also going to show you how to do this in OneDrive. So if you go to onedrive.fresnou.org, this will take you to your Microsoft OneDrive, which is really similar to Google Drive. So let's show you Google Drive first. So you're going to save the whole folder. So new folder upload. The one I want is Colorsplash. Okay, so that's going to upload the entire folder. I want this to say 10. I didn't do the other 3 yet, so make sure yours says 10. And okay, I've got all 7, so if I click on it and I click this arrow right here, I can do a share, and I want to make sure that I'm going to change this actually to anyone with a link, just to make sure it works. And you're just providing the link to me, so that's fine. So that's good. And then so you would copy. So let me make sure I got the link, so that's good. I'm going to copy that link. Go to the assignment on Google Classroom right here, and I'm going to turn it in. So I don't have it listed there, so I'll show you what it looks like on this one. And so I would add link, paste it, Control V, or right click and paste, and oh, Google's giving me that error message about that, so I'm like, okay, I got a backup plan. I'm going to go over here, I'm going to upload that same folder to OneDrive. So here's Colorsplash. Okay. Looks the same as far as the prompt, so it says yes, you're uploading your folder. Here's my Colorsplash folder. I'm going to click this share button. I'm going to copy the link, and I'm going to go try again in Google Classroom. So let's add link, paste. Okay, boom. And looks like it's going to take the OneDrive one, so I'm not really sure why the error is happening with the Google Classroom, but it's okay. We have a backup. I can click on this. I can see all of the pictures right there, so that's amazing. Mr. Cheney is going to give me a wonderful grade on that assignment. So that is Colorsplash. So you're using the Pixlr E instead of X to do your work, because you're going to see many more tools over here. You're essentially taking 5 original images that were color, you're putting in a layer that makes it black and white, and then you're revealing some of the color again, which is called Colorsplash. So I'm going to post this to the assignment, and we'll go from there. You can rewatch it, rewind it, pause it, whatever you need to do from the YouTube channel. See you back in class.